George Kambosos, breaking news. Yourself, George Kambosos, Ferocious Promotions, have joined forces with DeBella Entertainment and MATCHROOM Boxing. Massive news. Tell us how this all happened.
Yeah, massive news, exciting news, and where I won my championship, obviously with my original promoter, DeBella Entertainment, was on a MATCHROOM boxing show. So very exciting. Looking forward to making a statement and again showcasing George Kambosos Jr, who I was, who I am, the fighter I'm moving into now at 140, and making some big statements.
Lots of moving parts with this MATCHROOM deal, and we'll get to that in a second with the Zone, and along with our partners at Riyadh Season, and so many different alliances now happening. George, with the fighters that you see in the 140-pound division, is this the right decision and one that you're very excited about for the future?
Definitely. You see the landscape, you see the 140-pound division, you see the way things are moving, the collaborations from different promoters, and obviously, Riyadh Season. There's so much opportunity and so many doors opening, so this is a great collaboration, a great move, and one thing with George Kambosos and Ferocious Promotions and my team, and my manager Jim Kambosos, and my promoter DeBella Entertainment as well, we always make the right moves, the smart moves, the right business moves, and we continue doing the best things we do, fighting the best, chasing the biggest fights, and continue building on my legacy.
There's so many big names in Australia that have been aligned to MATCHROOM. Jai Pattaya, Liam Paro, Sky Nicholson, Dempsey McKean in the past, our own Justice Honey. You've done so much in the sport over the last 3 or 4 years. How exciting is it for you when you talk about when you defeated Lopez in 2021 on a MATCHROOM boxing card? Shout out to Eddie Hearn and his team, and then to see the up and coming fighters then cross over to MATCHROOM, and the great things that MATCHROOM Boxing and the Zone have done all around the world.
Yeah, well, look, I even had my world title eliminator in London with Lee Selby on a MATCHROOM show. So, again, we have worked with MATCHROOM, Eddie Hearn, Frank Smith, his team, and they're a fantastic team. I really enjoy working with them, even the Zone commentary as well. Guys that know boxing. So, it's exciting, and again, the talent that has come through Australia after what I went out and achieved has been incredible. Great for the rise of Australia, but again, I think MATCHROOM, Eddie Hearn, Zone have a vision, and they see that vision, and they need a big marquee name and face from Australia, and here he is right now.
George, your next fight, it will be under MATCHROOM, DeBella, Ferocious Promotions, George Kambosos. Whether it's here in Australia, we're hearing stuff, it could be in Las Vegas, we don't know yet. But how exciting for you that another partnership, a new venture, a new story for your next fight?
Yeah, look, it's all exciting. I continue doing my work in the gym. Obviously, had a new division, healthier weight, healthier division for me. Feeling great, feeling strong. You saw me today, hitting hard, but that speed is still there. That sharp counter punching is still there. So it's exciting, a new venture. There's a lot of moving parts, and if it's Vegas, if it's Sydney, if it's wherever, Saudi Arabia, we will be ready and coming forward.
Jim Kambosos, breaking news, and very big news. George Kambosos, along with Ferocious Promotions, have aligned with DeBella Entertainment and MATCHROOM Boxing. Massive news for the sport of boxing in Australia. First off, congratulations, and how did this all come about?
Oh, well, that question's easy, mate. George Kambosos is a marquee guy. He's the biggest name through the 135s, and now obviously, the 140 division's a hot division, and you've got the likes of these big names, and there's only one way that division's going to heat right up, and that is when you bring Kambosos into the MATCHROOM stable, because obviously MATCHROOM's cornered the market, and they've got a lot of the 140s in there, and potentially a lot of other 140s are coming in, and which are big names. So, it's come about because it's good business sense. And, Ferocious Promotions and DeBella Entertainment and now MATCHROOM Boxing, I mean, what a great relationship. And that relationship was always going to be in a play back in the day when George had that memorable victory against Teofimo Lopez at Madison Square.
For those who don't know, you've had some big wins on Matchroom boxing cards. You know, I mean, we just spoke about Lee Selby in the car offline, and obviously the Teofimo Lopez. You and your son were probably the first marquee fighter ever from Australia to have these real big wins on Matchroom. What's it like to be back working firstly with Eddie Hearn, Frank Smith, and the entire great team at Matchroom Boxing?
Super excited. To be honest, super excited. It's something that I was always hoping that it'll play out earlier in the piece when George did, go over, and we worked closely with the Selby fight over in Wembley, and then obviously we rolled into, Matchroom picking up the fight when they went in for that purse bid after a default from the original promoter. But the thing is, mate, super excited. It's what, 2 years, two and a bit, 3 years down the track, and here we are. But things happen for reasons, and I believe this relationship is meant to be, and there's a lot of super fights now to be announced. And Kambosos is the big name amongst the group. When you start throwing out all these names, George is the marketable guy, international guy, the biggest face in Australian boxing, and George fills stadiums, and Eddie and Frank and obviously Lou and Ferocious Promotions, but I'll keep Ferocious out of the way for the moment. Eddie, Frank and Lou, they know the business, and they know that George, he's the money guy. He's, you've got guys in the game who basically, who can deliver, but not like George. George is your money guy.
Moving forward, there was some rumours and speculation that yourself and the team, George, would fight in December. That's obviously been scrapped. The year sort of got a little bit cramped. Looking forward now for you guys, in January, February, your next fight will be on Matchroom Boxing, obviously co-promoted with Develop Entertainment. Is there anything you can tell us, Jim, about what's going to happen next and, future opponents maybe to be?
Yeah, well, initially I was over in Canada, and, obviously for my other exciting fighter, Imam Kataev, the Destroyer, I call him. But the thing is, I met with a Canadian 140 guy and his manager, and we sat down, and they said, hell yeah, George Kambosos, we'll fight him anywhere, anytime, any place. And the thing is, I told Lou that I've got an opponent, his manager's already agreed, it was an easy deal. And the thing is, let's do it in Sydney, December, we'll target in December the 7th. We'll try to align it with the Paro fight over in Puerto Rico. And the thing is, when we talk levels, and the situation is that it's hard to make things happen at a drop of a hat. We're talking venues, we're talking government funding, we're talking TV, broadcasting. So we ran out of time. I told Lou, listen, let's shelve it, forget the December date, but let's re-look at it all and do a nice big show anywhere between the middle to end of February in Australia. Location, obviously, it all hinges on government support because that's the way this business works at the highest level. But right now, we're excited about the announcement, the partnership, the business aspect and the economics behind it. But the thing is, we're also basically targeting a date in February, which will be George's 140 introduction to the division.